Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this week's edition of Sketch Sunday, where Crystal from Pineapple Papers and I are revisiting Christy's from Christy's Beautiful Life, her 30 Days of Sketches series. And we've randomly chosen some sketches from all 4 series. And today we are going all the way back to day 15 of the very first 30 Days of Sketches series. And this one is a sketch that Christy had chosen from the Scraptastic Club. And the sketch was March of 2013 by Susan Stringfellow. I remember her sketches. I used to love doing her sketches when I was a Scraptastic Club member. So this time we have a little bit of a grid, a lovely square type grid that takes up the entire page. And I went just the tiniest bit rogue on this one, in that I guess the first thing, I have a little Christmas deco here. I guess the first thing was my photos were a lot smaller. I had 4 as opposed to 3, and I had one of the photos which was portrait as opposed to landscape, which the others were. So I sort of kept to the same basic design here, but I shrunk it and made it pretty much on an 8 by 8 square, which I then backed on just a little bit bigger, about 8 1/4, I guess, by 8 1/4 piece of cardstock, and then a large frame of pattern paper. So within this little 8 by 8 square, I stayed fairly true to the sketch in my own way, where here there was a 4 by 4 photo. Well, I have a photo and a pattern paper rectangle, so that the two together sort of make the square. Mine is a little bit more puzzled, and everything is a little bit more offset as opposed to being really square. But I think when you look at it, you still get the same effect, so that you can take something and then look and see the photos that you have. And sometimes, even if the photos aren't exactly what the sketch calls for, you can play around and adapt and still get a lovely effect and still see the sketch. What do you think? Do you still see the sketch in it? I hope so. Now, I could have also done it this way, which was a thought that I had. And so this would be a fun layout. This one is very, very easily flipped on its side, or flipped even on this side. But this is what I went with this time. And it is also for Gwen's baby album, Baby Diego's album, that I'm doing. The last couple of days of creating the inspiration seems to be for that album. And I wanted to bring in a little bit of red. There's just the teeniest little bit of red maybe here in this photo. There really isn't anywhere except for maybe, well, no, there is the table here and the littlest bit here, but I wanted to bring it in a little bit more. So I started, of course, with just a white 8 by 8 square, which, as you know me, I find that often a little too stark. So if I don't outline it, then I do a little bit of mixed media. So this, I did the packaging technique. You can hardly see it now because most of it is behind, but you can see just little bits of it peeking out in between and behind the photos. And I used, I believe it's Mama Sings the Blues. And then I used the taupe shimmers, but I mixed it with an old ink pad that I have, a Brilliance silver ink pad, and some water to give it much more of a silvery tint, as opposed to Taupe of the Morning, which is as the name implies, taupe. It's in the grays as opposed to, and there is a little bit of a sheen, but I wanted a little bit more. So I've pretty much hidden it all. So I don't really know whether you can see that there is a little bit of a silver tinge there. So I got that background done, matted it on just a piece of navy cardstock, gutted, of course, this lovely pattern paper, and applied my block. There, I matted all of my photos in that Stampin' Up! Poppy Parade, that nice tomatoey red color. And then I used, here I have these 2 scraps on my desk from a Paige Evans paper, and you see that red is in there, and then it sort of has an ombre effect here, which is a little bit closer to the sort of orangey red that's in here. So I thought that was fun, a little bit of a pop of color. Use these. So this is a layout that uses scraps. Basically, there's really not a lot of paper on here, which I think is fun. It gives a different, it gives a bit of a different look. So I put these 2 rectangles here that match the sizes, of course, of the 2 photos, one on top of the other, side by side. Then I just added, there was a little piece of pattern paper here, and I did exactly the same thing with this little ombre. And then I felt like I wanted some of that color to be brought up a little bit here to the top, where in the sketch there's an embellishment cluster there. I put the embellishment cluster a little bit closer to the middle. I guess if you look at the sketch, my embellishment cluster would be here. The title's at the same place, but again, a little bit over, because of course my square is a lot smaller, so these types of things take up a little bit more room. Some punched circles that I laid out, just made a lovely little cluster here of punched circles. Lovely little cluster of punched circles here. And I felt like putting this branding strip was on my desk. It's actually from this piece of paper. It was on my desk. I cut it down a little bit, and I just thought it gave a nice little shelf to the whole layout. Just sticking over a little bit the edges here gives a little bit of interest, so I put it there. Some puffy stickers here from Pink Fresh Studio. These are the thickers that came with the Chamel collection. I think, is it Field Trip? I think it came with the Field Trip collection. One side of the packet is a navy on a sort of aqua blue foam, and the other side is this lovely tomatoey red on pink foam. Love it. I tried both colors. I really preferred the red. I felt it gave it a little bit of a pop. Some little tiny Pink Fresh Studio alphas, puffy alphas, a little puffy heart here on the side, a sticker from the Lullaby collection, and a couple of the nice red glittery dots that I got from my friend Helen. And there you have it. There is this week's Sketch Sunday from day 15 of series 1 of Christy's Beautiful Life, her 30 days of sketches. I will have Crystal's channel or video linked down below. And as I mentioned in previous videos, if you would like to choose a sketch for us, my lovely friend Karina chose a sketch that we're going to be using on January 5th. Christy has now updated her playlist, by the way. It's updated. It has all of the videos that she has created. So there are 125 videos on her playlist. So you can go over there, scroll through, and choose an actual sketch you would like to see Crystal and I do. Or you can simply leave one of us a comment with a number, choose a number between 1 and 125, and we will get that sketch done in the month of January. So pop on down to see Crystal's awesome layout. I love the way Crystal interprets these sketches. It's always fun, and I love her videos. I love how natural and spontaneous she is during her voiceovers. She's a hoot, and she's a lovely friend. Pop on over her channel. Pop on over to Christy's Beautiful Life to look at the playlist and come back and see us next Sunday. Thank you for being here. See you soon. Bye.